Thank Everybody is a victim. Everybody is unnecessarily victimizing himself, their own selves. So much analysis. कुछ dream आता है. Why I got that nightmare? Why? Always is why. Meditation, I'm not getting experience. Why? Meditation, I'm getting experience. Why? Too much, 3 much, 4 much, not too much. So that is spoiling everybody, every show. I am against all this analysis, Baba. That is my fundamental enlightenment. That's why I am able to help everybody. Stopping their analysis. The art and science of relaxation is very important. After every thought, after every word that you speak, after every thought, you analyze your thought. After every word, you analyze your why you are doing over-analysis. PSSM is anti-analysis. Don't analyze your life situation. Why I am poor, why I am rich. Don't analyze your dream situations. Don't analyze your meditation situations. Go through them. Don't analyze them.
Namaste. A very happy morning, afternoon, and evening to all masters joining from across the world. A very warm welcome to all of you to week 2 of Presence 40-day flagship program by Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation. I'm Shirisha Beredi and I'll be the host for the next 2 days. I practice as an advocate in Bengaluru, India, and I also work as program manager at an NGO called Nyaya that works towards making justice accessible. I stepped into this world of meditation with Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation 5 years ago when I just graduated from law school and I was preparing for a competitive exam. I had faced severe burnout. I could not open my books anymore, and that's when I was looking for a source to help me maintain my discipline, come back to studies and everything. Little did I know that one step of registering to this amazing program, a 21-day youth program, would transform my life significantly. It has introduced me to a newer, better version of myself. Earlier in this video, like how Patriji was saying, I used to probably victimize myself a lot. I would crib and whine a lot, complain about why things are going always wrong with me, even though I work hard, things are not great. Even if I get 99 out of 100, I would crib about that 1 mark. From that, I figured out how to move from negative to positive thinking. I used to overthink a lot. I overcame that and experienced true happiness from within. That happiness that I never felt before, and that joy that was unaffected by anything that was happening outside. And I think that happiness reflected, and later my mom joined to meditation as well. But ever since I've stepped into this world, it's always been a great journey of learning, unlearning, relearning. I didn't know there were so many fears that I had, so many limiting beliefs that I had. With all meditation wisdom, I've been trying to unlearn a lot of them, learn about so many new things, trying to take all good and bad of life with the same equanimity. Now I look at things as, okay, thoughts create reality. So if something is bothering me, that means I need to look at what I'm thinking. And instead of cribbing over the challenges, I try to look at what is it trying to teach me. I've moved to a stage of a lot of gratitude for things in life, not just about myself, even others. I'm still learning to get to a great point in self-love, but I've come a long way. All of this has been possible for me because of this practice of breath mindfulness meditation and this great community that Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation has built. Several times I've tried to run away because, of course, this is a hard practice that requires perseverance and sincerity every single day. But it's the service with this community and the great friendships that I've built here, the amazing masters like Chandra sir, Rakesh sir, Vani ma'am, who constantly get you back onto track. Every time I've come back with more intensity. I've dwelled deeper into all this knowledge and wisdom. So very deeply grateful for Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation and for introducing this amazing practice, the best gift that I've given myself. With that, let's get into today's meditation practice, my dear friends and masters. We will get to Chandra sir shortly. Kiran sir, over to you.
Thank you, Sirisha ma'am. It's a wonderful introduction about how you were able to come into meditation. Thank you very much for taking up the host. Friends, we'll be doing the breath mindfulness meditation, and Chandra sir will be joining us after the meditation for the wisdom session and sharings and answer all your questions. So for those who just started today, we'll be doing breath mindfulness meditation as shown in the picture. Sit comfortably. If you have spectacles, remove them. Close your eyes and cross your feet. Clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and hold them in your lap comfortably. Observe your normal and natural breath. No forceful inhalation or forceful exhalation. If you have thoughts, come back to observing your normal breath. And before going into breath mindfulness meditation, we'll be doing heart elevation process. Rest your attention on your heart and recollect an event in your past, future, or present that love, gratitude, joy, compassion. Let's go into meditation.
Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, keep your hands in your chest area. And resting your attention on your sacred heart. And can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the center of all emotions, nurturing all life. With its higher vibration of love, compassion, kindness, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your past? Or simply imagine to be living an experience of higher emotions of love, deep joy, gratitude.
relive that moment and feel that energy. The more you experience this higher emotions and energy of love, compassion, the more coherent you become. With all things and everyone. We are all deeply interconnected. Deep inside, we are specks of energy connected to each other. Allow yourself to direct this energy, to spread this energy to everyone and everything on this planet, to help them elevate themselves. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Feel. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. We are going into powerful group meditation, dear friends. Observe your natural in-breath and the out-breath. When you observe your breath, your mind becomes empty. The mind is becoming empty. We experience greater emptiness. That calmness inside of you, all around you. It is natural to have thought. When you recognize your thinking, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to go into the deeper states of calmness, emptiness. As the mind is becoming empty, all that liberated energy is channelized into the present moment. Your body begins to function at its natural best. You develop greater power of thought. Come into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness, calmness inside of you, all around you. Become aware of that calmness, stillness within you as you merge into your breath. All emptiness is energy. This is the quantum field of limitless dimensions, the field of infinite possibilities. The more you are with it, the more you tune in to the abundance of healing energy. empowerment energy, that energy of love, that energy of the mystic, or whatever you can become aware of. Plunge into this emptiness of no body, of no thing. Less matter, more emptiness and energy. as the mind is rested, you move away from this matter, your body. You experience that emptiness, energy, the feel of all connection, the field of all wisdom. The more you are in this calmness, emptiness, the more insightful you become, the more connected you become. Merge into the emptiness of yourself, your divine self. Receive your greater mind, that awareness. the more you are with it, the more you experience your intuitive intelligence the more you develop that acceptance and the more effortless life becomes. Friend, it's truly a privilege to be experiencing this life, to be exploring consciousness for a greater life at this time of history. Many are not so blessed. Can you express gratitude to everything and to everyone? Be grateful to this intelligent universe. To your parents, to your teachers, to your mentors. Deep gratitude to yourself, to your body. Give thanks to this nature, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. Gratitude to all the people in your life, to everyone. To everything, the technology, the system, the companies, the governments. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Recollect your experiences from the session, and whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoy the session. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Sirisha. Welcome to the week 2 of this 40-day or 6-week program. Physical body health and energy. We know it, the importance of it. There are 3 things really that we all look for at various phases of our life. Health and well-being. When we have that, they look for growth. When we have that, look for meaning. Our life cycles through these 3 phases. If no health, other 2 do not matter. When health and well-being is there, then we can say more things to be done, more experience to be had. When we're doing many, that's when we start looking and saying, is it very meaningful, purposeful, just doing it? This program also goes through like that in those phases. And so we will understand in great detail how meditation is helping in increasing our greater health and well-being. I have a few questions to ask. Please open the chat, and then the chat by default may be pointed to host and panelist in your case. Before you write, change that to everyone, target to everyone, and then write so that everyone else will see if possible. Workplace or otherwise at home or wherever that we generally spend our daytime. First question is, if you are regularly checking out of our workplace due to some kind of sickness, do you like it? What is the impact it causes to you and to the people around? And then because there is an impact and then you're the only one, and so then you really have to go for work or go and do it in spite of having that serious illness or sickness or whatever in your body. How do you like that? Can you write something on this chat? If you regularly, because I have an illness, a backache, a headache that keeps coming, and because of it, or some BP or diabetes, and this and that, it keeps flaring up, and so because of it, asthma. And if I continuously and regularly, maybe once a month, maybe once in 2 months, and I keep going out and coming back in from work, 3 days, 4 days, half a day, we know none of us like that. More so in the leadership, nobody likes to go and say, today, guys, I'm coming late, I'm calling sick. Once in a while is okay, but not regularly. Chronic illnesses, by very nature, is about recurring constantly. While there is no cure, for any chronic illness in general through medical science, but there is every cure possible through meditation. Because for the most part, the chronic illness are happening through memories. It's called psychosomaticism. As our psyche is, our body is, soma is, psychosomatism. If I am not able to express very well, if I am not able to empower myself to do work and action, if I'm constantly critical about myself, if I'm constantly in fear and survival mode, then we have plenty of illnesses dealing with our digestive glands, sexual glands, our adrenal glands, our throat center, or the thyroid gland. And if so, they're all psychosomaticism. Depending on my vibration, behind my understanding, my reactions, responses, depending on some specific past memories that are there bothering us, we react, we have a specific understanding of life. And so then we appropriately, we work, we have live certain way, and then that causes illnesses. If we are role-centric, and then in the process lose the sweetness of life, diabetes comes. They were role-centric. I am this very senior diplomat, dignitary, or I am this big CEO, and so then I need to be like this because it's not nice. If I do any reaction in public, even including dancing, it's not nice. And so I become very strict and serious. There are many, many illnesses that are chronic, that are happening because of the way we are suppressing our emotions and then live, and the way we have a limited understanding of life and so we live. And none of us like when we have to constantly say, I'm not well, I'm falling sick, I'll be out for next 3 days, and more so if I'm in a leadership role. The second aspect of this health is energy. We know the standard scene. By the time 4 o'clock, meetings happen, and then morning to evening, meeting after meeting, we go into the meetings. All the work that we are doing, there's no concentration, there's not enough energy. We feel drained. Exceptions are always there. And of course, those who come into meditation have increased their energy levels that they don't feel that feeling of drained anymore. That being able to be active and participate morning till night with the same level of energy, enthusiasm. I'm sure you agree with me that it is required no matter where we are in what field. Please say if you feel that is the feeling. Morning you're great, you're fine, take these few meetings, but as you come to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and more so when you're in these MNCs, global in nature if you work, then maintaining that energy level, maintaining that participation, it's not just about physical energy. It's also being able to be in that right moods, and so that we can actively participate. Right presence. What about performance? Do you feel I'm not having time? Do you feel I want to do many things, but I'm not able to do, and I'm just getting stuck in this or that, or no, just not able to get there? Do you feel in all of it that your home is getting neglected, that your family they're not happy, or you want to do something but you're not able to do in helping adequately. It's about performance. There's time management, being able to balance, being able to do more with less. Health, energy, and performance, dear friends. These are, of course, they are needs of everybody. And these need to be there. If you are living life, this need to be there. This is fundamental. This need to be there. There's no questions about it. Meditation brings it that way. Health becomes yours. There's no question, there's no discussion about health once you take on to meditation seriously. When I use the word meditation or the practice, I'm always constantly talking about three things at a minimum. It's a meditation practice. It is you are gaining constantly wisdom by reading. And then third, constantly interaction with masters who are meditating. In interaction, exchanging experiences. Do your part and then take from them. And we do these three regularly. One need not talk about health and energy. They need not talk about it. Performance becomes a relative, but health and energy are there. That's my experience. That's the experience of many, many Buddha CEOs. Those who are determined, and meditation brings the determination. And then once you make it a beautiful habit, and once you understand the science of meditation fully, then you would not leave this. And so then health won't leave you. Health will be there. Now, if some challenge comes in from physical health, we will go back and look at and say, what part of me has to change? So the fundamental reason, dear friends, of losing health, of not having that great health and not having that energy, and which is causing a lot of implications towards performance, is this limitless, unwanted thought sitting there. That unwanted thought. The reason fundamentally body is not necessarily responding greatly is because of this several unwanted thoughts, sustained negative thought. Which are either worrisome, which are anxiety, causing anxiety. They're constantly about past or future. We call this a stressful mind. How much aware you are about the present when you know certain things are not getting done the way you want it to be, can we be still in the present and say, I recognize it, I know it is getting delayed, I know it is not necessarily the greatest thing that I expected from my team. Can we recognize and then be centered and still be calm about it? Because what is the choice? Still be calm about it. And then have a greater thought that things are getting done more beautifully, are getting done in time. Having that thought versus it is not getting done. These guys just don't learn. They don't get it. I don't know what's going to happen. Can we be more centered and have the former than the later? Or can we, when something happens, a review measurably fails, there is enough criticism given, comments given, feedbacks given, can we look at that in a more greater stable mind perspective and say, and then a more non-survival mode perspective? and say, okay, I recognize I messed up, it's screwed up, whatever it is, but I will take this ownership and then I step forward. If this not this company, another company. If not today, there is tomorrow for me that I'm going to take care of this. Can we come to that understanding? Rather than to constantly be worried about what others think of me, what's going to happen to my performance, my job, and this and that. Is it possible? It's not possible when we do not empower ourselves that I am here to create and experience my life the way I wish to experience. It's through my thoughts, through my feelings. It's a matter of time things are going to come to me. This understanding, when it comes, then we will take every situation the way it is, nothing more projected for the future, nor keep on going back and living in the past. It is this random, unwanted thought that is causing a body, then physiologically, a lot of impact. When we keep on worrying about things, when we keep on feeling stressed, we call it, that something has to be done, people have to be explained well, otherwise they won't get it and they'll give me all kinds of bad performances. Then we are putting a lot of pressure in our body. The pressure is called an emergency mode. When we keep on projecting danger, basically it's called projecting danger in our mind. We keep projecting danger. Business is going down, it's going to be miserable. I don't even know how my life is going to be after this. How will I show up my face to the venture capitalists or to my colleagues who came on my promise? And so when you have that thought, it is projecting danger into the body, as we're saying that it's not just going to be great, because the words we use are that. Our body responds to a thought. The way it is simply you are the commander, simply following the commands. That's all it is, nothing else. It's simply following the commands. Then an army of a trillion cells out there sitting in a body, they're waiting for a command to follow. When the command says it's going to be horrible, they have to bring up, physically speaking, within the capability, an experience of horrible nature. And which means that illness has to come. It's called epigenetics. So that emergency mode or the danger mode is what we're projecting constantly when we are worrying, deeply worrying about any events that have happened or are going to happen. Is our projected. It may not even happen. I don't remember the stat, what percentage of the events that we make up in our mind that never happen in the reality at all, we keep making up in the mind. And so stress, according to medical experts, is the number one reason for most of the lifestyle illnesses. More than 90% plus of illnesses that are there, every part of every organ is caused due to this unwanted thought that is sitting there constantly interfering into the certain areas of the functioning of the brain and body. And it moves the body into this mode called emergency mode. You know what is an emergency mode is? An emergency mode where we are leaving everything on the table. Whatever we do, we have to leave. It's an emergency, right? If you are at an airport and suppose there is an emergency call, then what are you asked to do, depending on what that situation is? If it is some kind of an attack, then you're asked, and if there is things work, then there is probably an announcement. If not, by the time you hear, you already made up your mind to do something, run away from there, hide. There's a reaction that what others are doing, you also do. But whatever that is a signal is that run away, protect yourself, safe place, to a safe place. Emergency mode. That means we drop everything that we are doing and then we are trying to cover ourselves to protect ourselves. That's what we've gone into as deep defensive mode. But our attention has to be just on that, nothing else. In emergency mode. Everything we're doing has to stop. We have to go back. Now, emergency mode, the other alternative is that go and fight. That's the second alternative, go and fight. When you're cornered, then we have no option but to go to the fighting, because we still, as a human, wants to survive and so want to fight, either fly away and fight. And so the body also exactly how we want to apply. When we're pushing the body in emergency mode, it's got to do exact same thing. Either it is to survive, either by fighting or protecting, but then stop doing whatever it is doing. When there is an emergency situation at home, there's no cooking, food is not there. Unless somebody comes and helps, there's no food. And so then what do? We continue to attend to the problem. Okay, 1 day is fine, 2 days are fine, or 1 hour, 2 hours are fine. But we go on for days, what happens? In the same emergency mode, without eating, without sleeping, what happens? That is not there. We have to recognize, dear friends, our body is going through similar situations when it moves into what it calls an emergency mode, and so it stops functioning. It stops functioning. And when we are in emergency mode, we stop functioning. We don't do anything other than that thing that we attended to. Nothing else we do. We just simply go to a safe place. Like COVID, an emergency mode, you're asked not to go out. We stopped everything, come to a grinding halt when it comes to the outside work. And so is the case with the body. And so imagine now, if the body stops working, just like we stop working literally everywhere, then what will happen to the body when it stops working? Where you need to work, you're better in emergency mode, but it stops working when you are producing in constant emergency mode through your mind, through thought. So let's look at a few slides quickly on this concept of what meditation is doing to brain and body when we have this emergency mode. First of all, this emergency mode, concept of emergency mode, and how is meditation helping us to come out of this mode. Physical health. Meditation increases this physical health quotient, and the core is thought, and thought is energy. And so we call this energy communication. Thought is going and then impacting the cells to operate certain way. Epigenetics communication is impacting the cells to operate certain way. And then, of course, we simply speaking, if I have too much thought, I'm too confused. I don't have clarity and I react, and many things happen. So it's the fundamentally thought is energy. So here is an experimentation that done by Masaru Emoto, scientist from Japan. He took water and then he simply took water in a glass or a bottle and then held the water close to it, various natures, or put a label on the water, simply giving those messages that are there on the screen. Thank you. You make me sick, and love and appreciation. A water molecules before prayer and after prayer. So they simply have been subjected to some thoughtful communication here. And this is the shape of the water molecules when they're put under the microscopic conditions to look into it. Just with a signal of a thought that is given to it. And you say thank you to water, and look at how beautifully it organizes itself into like a nice crystal. Whenever the notice is, whenever you have a higher vibration thought or emotion, then this is the nature. It needs to form itself into a very, very beautiful patterns. Beauty is nurturing our life. So it nurtures, that water consumed nurtures the body very well. Now the same thing you tell, you make me sick, and this is how it is. It's completely disintegrated. Just thought communication. Imagine the type of thought we have constantly, and how impact it must be causing to various cells in the body, because water consciousness, where the thought and energy is impacting its molecules, the same thing is happening to human body. Another experiment they've done, they've taken water, it is in a college or so, thousands of students, they're given a glass of water to each of them. Then as each student drew the water glass close to them, then they measured the pattern that the water for each of the students that it is exhibiting, similar patterns. And then what they found, that the pattern that is showing up is unique from student to student. Number one, it's unique to student, symbolizing that everyone has their own emotional signature, their own thought signature, depending on how they think and feel at that moment or about themselves in general. And so it has a unique signature, and they draw the glass towards each individual. That means it's coming into the field of energy. And so it changed its crystalline shapes, just like here on the picture. And then each one has a unique pattern symbolizing every individual has a unique emotional signature. And number two, then those of them have a better mood and better feeling and thinking. It has these beautiful patterns like this, and then other cases it's different. It is telling us the difference. Our thoughts, our moods have an impact on our environment, which includes our body. More here, thank you. You use the word wisdom, they love it. Truth, beautiful. Look at the star. Eternal, now it's slowly merging back into the whole, eternal. Is it eternal? So that's the feeling you get, right? Okay, so they're forever. And so there's merging back. You are one with the whole, and so then you're a little less visible, I guess. That angel. And then I love you, peace. And then look at the other ones. You fool, you make me sick, evil. Polluted water before prayer and after prayer. So energy communication difference is happening. We must recognize first that our body is immersed in a field of communication of energy, and that energy is produced through thought and feeling. Mind to Matter is a beautiful book that talks about these concepts. That's why some of these books, Mind to Matter, and then You Are the Placebo, and Biology of Belief, these three are recommended in our book list. We send the list of books on day 5 of this program. And then you look at the wisdom note, it is there in the Facebook also. On day 5, Buddhasya Facebook. And then pick up those books, these are recommended. And then we really go and then understand these concepts, because they're fundamental scientific concepts about how our brain and body are impacted constantly through energy generated through internal and external, which is nothing but thought and feeling. And so, dear friends, now putting this together here, now from a medical perspective, stress is the number one reason for many illnesses, either too much work, too much friction, and then too much blame, or just not able to handle the pressure that are there time. And so our body, and as I mentioned, every time we are very stressful with these thousands of thoughts that are there, and a stressful person is carrying maybe up to 50,000 thoughts a day, and 80 to 85% or 90% are negative and repetitive, redundant. And all of them are moving the body into a mode called this fight or flight mode. But here is how a fight or flight mode is working for a physical body. When there is an external threat, a physical body responds to an external threat with this emergency mode called fight or flight mode. First of all, we are responding. And what is giving us that response? How is it happening? When you see a dog chasing, when you see floodwater coming, when you see an announcement that no, there is an attack happening, and suddenly we seem to have magically some power to just run away from that place. I seem to many times have the magical power to have that increased capacity to, lift buckets and buckets of whatever, and then be able to do constant work to drain the flood water, I guess. Suddenly there seems to be extra energy that's coming up in a stressful mode. That's because of human body, very intelligent, is actually doing certain chemical operations to move us into that alert state. It responds to it. The moment a physical eye senses the danger which is interpreted based on the past experience and the memory of the wisdom, we call it, that wisdom that is there, which is fundamentally says that water level is exceeding beyond a certain thing in our home is not great. I have to do something. There is a certain response that is formed for it. And so that if there is an attack, then I need to immediately run away, tuck under the table. And there's already a certain behavior that is formed for that wisdom. It's called wisdom. And so when that is a signal is seen, a physical signal, and immediately body pulls the wisdom and then it has a rule book and say, okay, now I need to do this. And so immediately rushes to do that. And for that, it needs energy. It knows it needs energy. It needs to protect itself. And so then automatically then it's doing the dilated pupils are getting dilated so that you're focused. You're not distracted. Your peripheral vision is being shut off at that point. So that centrally you're so focused, everything right in front of you, what you need to do, not get distracted with other things. Then your heartbeat and breathing are increasing because of one thing. Now they're all experience. Now what it is doing is that cortisol and adrenaline are dumped, and then there's more heartbeat because it wants to pump more blood because it has to produce more energy. It has to produce more energy to your body's legs and hands so that you can actually run or fly, run away or fight. The two options. So this is automatically happening by our physical body when it senses a physical danger. Because we have a rule book for it, we have got some understanding, and so we do that. A young child who has not understood what is the behavioral response, and when there is an animal coming, they probably don't even bother. They'll just look at it and just smile because the only thing they know is that. But they sense the emotion. If the animal is threatened, of course, then they sense the emotion, and then of course they too also immediately respond. That's a different thing. But we have a rule book, and so when the physical danger is there, whatever we term something danger, then we immediately act. It's called a subconscious instant response that happens. And our body physically also is supporting us by producing a lot of energy, and for that, it needs to increase our heart rate. It needs to produce things called cortisol and adrenaline into the body, so there is a lot of energy giving carbohydrates are produced at that moment, so that you've got a lot of physical energy that is there. Bunch of it needs to come together for us to have that extra energy. Now, dear friends, it is an emergency mode. It is an emergency mode. Now, the fear has certain good thing that fear is there in a when situations are not that necessarily great, and so that sort of drives us towards an action. Whether you call it blind, it drives us to action. And so we use that. That's why amygdala, the feeling center, is also getting more active, making us alert, producing a lot of chemicals, so that we are alert. Number one, that cortisol chemical makes us very, very alert. That means the cortisol chemical is the one which also doesn't let us sleep, but makes us very alert. And so the body is ready to support us in a pursuit to either run away or fight. You're alert. You cannot sleep. Even if you didn't have sleep for 36 hours in emergency mode, you won't sleep. Natural. Now, this is good. Out of the body is supporting you, but then it is also out of the balance because why? It is only operating in one gear, that's sympathetic nervous system, which is constantly pushing our different part of the body to work. No rest now. The parasympathetic is the one which gives rest to every organ. There's no rest here. It's making it work. And so far, so good. And a physical danger is good. You are working, and then floodwater situation that, protecting yourself and running here, there. And a few minutes later, the situation dissolves. And when it dissolves, then body slowly retreats back to the old state, a natural state where these chemicals are not there, cortisol is withdrawn, your feelings and comes back, heart rate normal, everything is normal. Your parasympathetic nervous system, whatever is that is causing your rest to happen, is also start working again, which is good. The way it should be. For momentarily, you go into a heightened mode. It happens even when you are, suddenly invited 30 people and then you only have 15 minutes left and you've got 5 more dishes to make. You go into an emergency mode. You get to try to get many things done. But the thing is, while you have energy to do, dear friends, and then if it simply has to follow, you will follow. But you have to think and plan and do many things, they suffer. But here is what happens from a physical body perspective if you carry this for too long. Short duration, great. Body supports, intelligent. We are out of the danger. We come back, fine. But this thing, if it is continued for long, now that's what happens in a modern lifetime activities, life activities, are worrying about a missed deadline, are projecting danger because something is not happening. I'm missing my admission, so what's going to happen? My child is not listening to me, so what's going to happen to him 5 years later? And we keep projecting. They all are called same emergency mode signal to the body, and the body keeps its state into an emergency even when you simply have this kind of worries. I don't know how my life will be. My life is going to be so miserable because that important person is no longer there. We go into the same emergency mode. Body is moved into this fight or flight mode. And when somebody vacates the body, we go into that, that grief for years, months to years. Just not able to come out of it. But what we don't know is that constantly for that many months to years, we're keeping the body in this stressful fight or flight mode. It means emergency mode. It means what? It means it's not functioning. It is simply operating and then responding to that emergency situation. In this case, you don't have real physical emergency. Instead, it stopped functioning inside because that's a signal you're giving. So, dear friends, body stops functioning. What does it mean in emergency mode? I said we stop everything we do. Same thing, it stops everything. It doesn't do digestion. You don't need to have great innovative ideas. It stops creation. You don't have any procreation interest, neither no sex drive, no interest at all about life. Because that's not necessary. You have to protect yourself first, right? In an emergency. So, dear friends, in emergency, and is immunity system required in emergency to repair things? No, right now you got to go and then protect. Forget about that immunity to heal certain thing. Immunity system breaks down. The heart center operations break down because your heart anyway is pounding like crazy. It's not balanced. And so there is the thymus gland behind the heart center, which is responsible for a lot of immunity function in a body, does not function well. So not one thing, two things, dear friends. Every gland of the body, wherever legs and hands energy is not necessary, rest of the body is in a malfunction mode, and not for a few minutes, but for however long you have that stressful thought. And as a result, digestion is not great. The thyroid is not great. Your head has so many all kinds of junk thoughts, and so then migraines keep coming, worries are there. Many things, the blood circulation is not adequate in the brain, and so then your headaches happen significantly. So many things, dear friends, from every illness that are stress-related lifestyle disorders are called lifestyle disorders, are all there because a modern lifestyle keeps the body in the stressful mode, fight or flight mode. Meditation, then you see what is doing. Meditation is removing the unwanted thought. By regularly emptying our mind of thought, regularly emptying our mind, and the thoughts are coming fundamentally from the subconscious, where we've held a lot of memories. We have certain poor understanding of life. We have judgments. We have past traumatic memories that are sitting in the subconscious, constantly bringing that thought out, that memory out. That memory produces a lot of signals, chitta, giving a lot of thought to manas, the mind stuff. The conscious mind is full of thought because a lot of chitta is certain way. And so meditation is working on both conscious and subconscious minds. And so as it is eliminating that unwanted, as you regularly silence the mind, and as you understand the life perspective differently. For example, a person who regularly understands and experiments that my thoughts create reality, and then whatever is happening to me is happening for the best at this moment. And so generally will slowly move out of this thing, a worry called, no, survival called, what will happen to my job? Job market is bad. Something is not going right. Company is not performing. So what will happen to me? That worry will disappear. A person who understands my thoughts create reality, empowers himself or herself, and also says that whatever happens to me, good or bad, is good for me at this point, is always happening for the best of me. When they have that understanding, then they will go out of their job survival mode. There you go, with the job survival mode gone, you removed a significant amount of stressful thinking. But that has to go. That comes with knowledge, number one, and experimentation, which is what meditation gives plenty of it. The more we meditate, the more we listen to this experience. So slowly, that knowledge that sinks in and says, it is okay even if I lose my job, it is for the best, that because then I'm going to be changing my field to something new, which I couldn't do before. I was in my comfort zone. But when I change my job, invariably, you know that you're also motivating yourself to change your field. That's perhaps what is required and why you're losing job. That's your new perspective. And so, dear friends, meditation and this wisdom that we learn is helping us to, number one, remove a lot of unwanted thought because it disengages from the past. The neuroscience principle is that if you don't fire the circuits, the thought circuits, again and again, then they slowly dissolve. Use it or lose it principle. If you fire something, that means if you keep recollecting something, it becomes stronger. Cells that fire together wire together. So whenever you're repeating the same thing, then you're making it stronger subconsciously, and so that operates for you again and again, not doing good things for you. But in meditation, as you're daily emptying the mind, you're awakening the memory, because then you are making, with alertness and awareness, you forget to fire, or you avoid firing the circuit. Oh, yes, in the past you were a miserable failure. You had a marital breakup. Okay. What's the point in talking about it again and again to somebody and everybody? My life is so bad, and this, this is that. You recognize with awareness, you stop talking about it. When you stop talking about something as the past, slowly the circuit wanes away in the brain. Use it or lose it. You don't use it, you lose it, which is good. You don't want to unnecessarily bring it up and then be charged again with that reaction. So that goes. And so as these unwanted thoughts drop in a period of time, dear friends, then we stop interfering into the body's functioning, because body is not getting any more signal of the danger. And so it comes into the balanced normal mode. That means that cortisol is not there in your bloodstream. Cortisol, all these chemicals are not there. That means it's functioning in balance, which means the first benefit is sleep. People who come into meditation start sleeping better. They will deny and say, I don't have stress, I'm fine. But it's an indicator is sleep. And then you sleep pretty well when you come into meditation. You know, sleep, the depth of the sleep will be known to you. So many things are there, dear friends, and we cover them the rest of the session. But it reduces mental rumination and increase our understanding, and as a result, we stop, have that unwanted thought, and so then we go into a regular balanced mode where your sympathetic and parasympathetic, these two nervous systems, are working greatly in balance. Otherwise, you are only one side. You work using a vehicle. You're not giving any servicing rest at all. And that happens when somebody in a stressful mode. Right, friends? And then we'll understand the remaining. Meditation is improving. It's anti-aging. It increases new gene expression based on change in thought. Repairs the body, increase immunity system. Some of those we'll cover during the rest of the week. And for this much to understand that stress is the number one reason for 90% illness. And meditation is the greatest way to remove stress in a very, very quick, short time by being in a regular practice. It's meditation and it's wisdom. Both help us to eliminate the unwanted stress. Thank you very much. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Sirisha, announcements.
Yes, sir. There are a few announcements. Masters, today at 8:15 a.m. IST, there is Inspired Book Club, the first session happening. The book is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So please tune in, and along with meditation, let's get more wisdom from the book clubs. Also, you must have seen that Buddha CEO continuously keeps giving updates about all the future programs on its social media platforms. There's also bite-sized wisdom content, a lot of work done by the content team to provide these bite-sized content on social media platforms. So do follow our Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation's different social media handles. I'm pasting it in the chat box. Please do engage and spread the word so that more people can embrace meditation. Thank you, sir. So there are a few questions in the Q&A section.
We'll take after the short break. Sure, we'll take them. So thank you all, dear friends. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Those of you who ask questions, if you'd like to stay back, feel free. We'll answer those questions. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well.
Yes.
There's a question from Kamlini ji asking, what is expected from meditation?
What is expected?
Yes.
Whatever that you wish to have in your life. If you're asking about what to do in meditation is to rest your mind. Emptying the mind by observing the breath. We are simply saying you rest the mind. That's all is the process of meditation. Expectation to do in meditation is to empty the mind, and we do that by observing our breath. If thoughts come back to the breath. Two things, that's it. The simple instruction will bring everything else. And to that we are saying, spend some time understanding the concepts like today. Wisdom, knowledge, and then that meditation practice. We are saying these two you do, and then everything else will be added. Whatever that you expect to have in life will come. Yes.
Thank you, sir. There's one more question. I think it was answered by, again, I have, by Lavanji. I have gastritis, IBS, and OCD. I think they're somewhat interconnected. Sometimes they make it really difficult to manage my day-to-day life. Do you have any suggestions on what I can do about it?
Just continue. There are people who have healed of IBS. And so one thing you can do is to speak to them, right? And the second is just first continue the meditation practice. Everything will come if we do not leave meditation in the middle. People have healed. Now, how much patience you have? Some of these serious ailments sometimes can take time, can take an year. It can take a couple of years to slowly change and heal those aspects of the body. But then if you are there, you will know that you are improving. You're getting better and better. And so just continue the practice of meditation. And anytime we have some of these ailments, then we increase the duration of the meditation. 40 minutes, we don't stop there. We do 2 to 3 hours of meditation. The body will support. It will support if you have a little bit of determination for it. But then we do meditation at least an hour in the morning, hour in the evening, and then gain the total understanding. Digest things. Basically, there is a life. How is the life going right now? Are we able to digest many things? Read books of Louis Hay. Louis Hay has books on you heal your body, you heal your life. Read those books. It's one of the recommended books in the recommended list. Read her books and then do more meditation. After about few months of sincere practice, if you do a sincere practice and if you don't find any improvement whatsoever, we'll continue to speak. And there is specific thing called spiritual tablets one can utilize after you are sincere about meditation practice. Okay. But it is, you can heal. It's one of the autoimmune issues, and autoimmune issues are easy to heal. I mean, I would say easy to heal, but they heal with meditation, for sure. One has to have that courage to stay through it. A lot of times people don't have that time, neither the strength. They'll say, no, no, no. And when you have especially money, then we go off into doing typical medical treatments, even though it's there or not there. They go to all kinds of fancy ones. Work don't work. Many times they don't work. If the mind is not, the thought process is not changed, then eventually it's going to come back again and again in some form or the other. Right. And so we want to change the way we think and feel about our life. Our approach to life must change. And that will happen with the regular practice of meditation and regularly having more and more wisdom and regularly interacting. When your approach to life is changed, understanding life changes, then automatically illness after illness after illness will dissolve. Yes, Risha.
Thank you so much, sir. And there's one more question by Ravi ji. In 24 hours in a day, if we do 1 hour meditation, we can minimize thoughts and try to empty our mind. Remaining 23 hours, thoughts keep coming, and how the 1 hour meditation can help the remaining 23 hours, which is full of thoughts.
It helps. You have to experiment. There are many things in the body keeps changing. That awareness increases for us. When awareness increases, we are suddenly are aware, and then any negative thoughts and thinking coming, we are aware to push it aside. We will do that. And so if 85% definition is negative, so you're slowly getting emptier already during the day for daytime too. And I also talked about cells that fire together, cells that you don't use them and then lose them. So they dissolve. And so we only need a few thoughts, not a lot of thought in a day. And so then eventually and slowly and gradually we will get there. So an hour of meditation is beautifully working for the rest of the day because you increase your alertness and awareness. It's called awareness of the moment. It'll be there. Okay. You're in the present because many of the memories have gone in the present, and so you're fully in the present experience and doing what there is warranting to do, for you to do. So it happens automatically, folks. Yes.
Thank you, sir. One more question by Lavanji. What is the purpose of listening to music while meditating? Then why don't we use mudras to induce the subconscious mind?
Music is a sound, is helping us to soothe our subconscious. Subconscious gets soothed with it. And so that activity of the brain becomes lesser. So first, the music is helping us I mean, I just put a little bit of words, but we just have to simply experiment it with this and then you make up your mind. All right. It's, there are two aspects. One is the scientific understanding. Secondly is just practice and experience. We all know that when you have a problem, good music soothes us, it relaxes, isn't it? Simple, that's the answer. It relaxes pretty quickly and very deeply. Music helps us to bring us back to that, and everything else is forgotten. What is the goal of meditation? To forget everything. And music is bringing us into one thing first, to forget other things and come back to that. And then from there, as it soothes, and when we are focused on a breath, and slowly we leave music also, when going into thoughtless state, it helps to go into thoughtless faster. And then beyond that, it doesn't matter. Okay. And so anything we do should not activate a mind further. It should let us lose our mind. And music beautifully does that. That's why we take to music when we are stressful. A nice, we call it instrumental, relaxing, slow music is stressful because it just brings that stress away. Precisely what we want in meditation. I don't know that other thing you asked about mudra and how that is helping, and not aware of it. And it seems to me that it won't help the way music would help because you are actively in the mind. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The other question from Jai Krishna ji is, sir, from 2 days, my meditation is getting interrupted with thoughts like how better I can take this meditation to every known people. I started sharing some best experiences. Nearly 5 people joined out of 50 people, but this constant thought is interrupting my meditation. Please suggest the time or thought management.
Well, what is the first thing I missed? There's a break. Just repeat the
The
question.
meditation is getting interrupted with thoughts like how better they can take this meditation to others.
Increase your understanding, madam. You're already promoting meditation, but then in meditation, you're getting this and say, how come people are not taking it, this and that? Increase understanding by reading. Okay, they will take. Why should they take immediately just because we told them? They'll take at their own time. If we know that everything is happening perfectly, then we'll not be, while we'll do our duty right, we'll not be thinking about the future unnecessarily. Even if it is great, it's okay. It is great for you, but it's not necessarily great at this point for them. We respect them. So we increase our understanding and say, good things need not have to come like immediately now, because good and bad is so relative right now in our minds, right? For somebody, experiencing that movie is the most important thing right now. They have to do that. For somebody finishing the research project is it, that's it, that is the most important. No matter what, that is the best thing that can happen to them from their current level of consciousness. So then we cannot unseat their goodness with our goodness. But it'll happen in due course because we've done the job of that energy communication. We are sending our energy communication. So give that thing in energy, always remember, if you use a thought and say, oh, they're not taking it and they will not take it, we are the cause of them to not take it also. Even if they don't take, we change the thought to, yes, I know they're taking it. I know they recognize it. They come to it sooner than later. We say this. So it requires a little bit of increased understanding. So read more books. It will give us this thing that there's nothing to, everything is happening perfectly at this moment. So then we'll come to the understanding, we just relax a bit. It's okay. Even if it is our closest, even if it is our daughter, our child, and then you have in front of you, Sri Ravikant Shankar is sitting, they say, no, I'm not coming. We'll still be okay, fine. We'll accept it fully. We'll accept the situation fully. All right? We'll not judge about them. We need to go to the acceptance. Yes.
Thank you, sir. On similar lines, there's another question by Sindhu ji. Namaste, sir. How can we help someone who is facing a chronic sickness who is not keen to meditate? Is longer period of meditation required in this case?
Start somewhere, madam, because first the improvement comes with a good mental state. So they're not keen to meditate. What do you do? If they don't meditate, then they'll go through the usual process and then they'll have to continue in the current mode of life. Every experience teaches something. So we recognize it and we don't feel bad about it. First, we become centered. People go through suffering, and suffering is due to individual ignorance, which is 90% of the suffering. And so then, but the life design is such that, it is that way. And so we have that understanding and say, okay, I don't feel helpless here. I'm doing my part and then I'm communicating. If they take it, great. If not, okay. So they go through it and then learn from it eventually. We come to that understanding where we don't get impacted because of it, but we have a great compassionate heart to give that knowledge every time that you have an opportunity. Then, if they come to it, even a few minutes of practice a day will bring a stronger mind, so that mentally they start becoming little better. The moment mind, that means, for example, they'll have a little bit of extra tolerance to the pain. Their unwanted worries, some of it drops. So, 10 hours if they're, really feeling miserable. Now, with meditation, if the pain tolerance increases, and suddenly there is a general sense of well-being increasing, including your mind, so they feel little hopeful. The ray of hope will come. I'll tell you, one of the a youngster was in a serious depression, and he was coming to meditation. He knows that there is a problem, but then he cannot control his thought, and and he would come to meditation, but then the depression, some of the, depending on that, I don't know what it was going through, that people, especially where they don't have control of the thought, right? In depression, means that you don't have control of the thought. You can't stop it. So meditation, you close your eyes. The mind is so active that he can't really keep his eyes closed for 2-3 minutes. Immediately has to open. It is so significant, the flow of thought, that they just cannot get psyched. They have to open. So now he was working, but then he would give up, give up. But then one day he came and said, "Sir, I mean, you look at the hope, right? Sir, it seems like working. Yesterday I did a meditation, and then for 10 minutes I was able to be there, sit down without my eyes open." He came to share. That means that hope is there into him, that, wow, this is beginning to work for me. That is sufficient. That's how we will feel internally when some things of that nature happen to us, then we feel like it's miracle to us and something is happening. So have them start even a sightless meditation. At least the moment they are there continuing, it'll get better than before, for sure. Then play some nice music throughout where they're not listening to meditation, not ready. Have some nice soft incidental music there. Okay. And then, if possible, play channels like PMC, Telugu or English, of some of these talks. Just play a little bit in low volume. Every now and then some wisdom goes knowingly or unknowingly. They hear. We have heard many stories where when spouse is joining meditation, the other one is passively listening, and then they also came into meditation because they felt like something they must try. There are things you want to try, and start even small is fine, even if they don't have a long meditation. Healing is the next step, but bringing into the moment, to go through the moment, is the first step. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Always so much to learn. And one question from Shruti ma'am on a lighter note. She's curious to know, do you ever feel like going back to corporate after such a successful career, even though you now know your purpose?
We are in corporate every day. Every day we are teaching meditation, we are talking to leaders to talk about how we can improve the governance and how we can be a better leader, right? And we are doing a company called Be Supermind. Now, a for-profit company, to introduce meditation to the corporate, as we recognize, corporate requires certain level of quality standards, certain level of customer support, many things are needed. And so then we have a company too that is working on its way to bring in meditation. So not given up, madam. If your asking question is around earning money, and if that's probably, and then wanting to power and all that, everything you're enabled. You already have so much of abundance. So earning money, now interest at this point, it's okay. We have sufficiently, what is there is running, it's great. Okay. Do I have the desire to wield power in a corporate to go? Not necessarily there. You have a lot more you can do today through this Buddha Seva Foundation. So it depends on how you see it. Influence. If you want to see it in influence, yes, there is so much influence here, like that. But do you have the desire to do some technology innovation? Yes, we are doing, like I said, in meditation technology, we are innovating. Okay, we're not giving up that passion of technology. I have not. And as far as I know, my lifetime in this technology is something that has propelled me, and so that's fundamentally part of my life, to utilize it in every possible way for a greater experience is how we are doing in Buddha CEO and now with Be Supermind. Okay. Thank you. Right. We'll
One
conclude
last
here.
question on the chat box, sir.
Yeah.
How to help some people who always say I am in depression?
Meditation, meditation, meditation. You know what I used to do? I used to give books to people regularly. And some of these science books, some books, any of the books in the 25, depending on where your mindset is, the people you attract are also like that. And so you give them a science book or a philosophical book or any of those that are there. And who knows, they'll open a page, they'll get triggered, right, from there. So give some of those books. And then otherwise, our job is to constantly share an experience or two. That's why our personal experience matters a lot. Like, for example, I told the story of that student. It's a good story. It's not my personal experience, but I do believe that it happens with meditation as I consistently hear many people like that. So we listen to other stories and then we have our story and then we present these as our stories because we truly take them as meditation stories that happen. And when you explain them with conviction, with our story, then your energy goes to them. So you increase your energy of meditation, of owning others' experience as yours, which happens naturally when you go into more oneness and wholeness. Then you are with conviction able to explain to them and say, come. And another thing you can do is rather than telling them, making them sit with you, give that extra time to them. Sit with them. Other times we tell them, hey, you do this, is good for you, do this. But even if it's 5 minutes, you sit with them. However busy you may be, make them sit with you. Just simple 10 minutes meditation. That's a great way you introduce it. You don't need to be a teacher. All you need to have the intention and play the 10-minute track that we have in our app. The 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20-minute tracks are there. Take any of them and play with them and tell them, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be there with you again. Find all your logic, everything is there. I know you can't sit down, but I want you to sit with me right now and then do not open eyes. 10 minutes we are sitting. The guy will say, a person will say, impossible. I want you to be there. Come, sit down 1 minute. Okay, if you're opening mind, eyes, no problem. Open. And then go around, come back and sit again. Do that. So make that attempt with them and they'll come into it slowly. Bite-sized meditations are good and let them try that. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Always grateful for your time and wisdom.
Thank you, Sirisha. When we give time, we give our energy. When we give our energy, invariably other people will heal. That's why healing happens when we are there with our presence. A loving presence is there, healing happens. And so first is to give the time. We have to come to an understanding to give time for people who require that help. Rather than simply telling, we give the time to be there. And so automatically the healing is happening. And so automatically our energy is going, like Masaru Emoto's thought communication changing the water molecules, we also change them to slowly and slowly change. At some point they will come into meditation. So time is our practice. Patience is our progress. It applies to every part of our life. Okay. So you patiently wait. Don't think that they're not changing. The moment you start thinking they don't change and they're not taking, you are the cause of their not taking. Please remember these words. Everyone who are trying to introduce meditation to their family members, their children, their parents, and then they get back and no response. We make up in our mind, oh, these people don't take it. They're not taking it. I know how many times I tell them they're simply not absorbing. When you use these words, friends, then you started a negative creation for them. You are the blocking person of their taking it from you. And so we have to be alert about what my inner dialogue is about others not taking it. Instead, you apply this energy communication principle and say, oh, my thought energy has gone to them today. Tomorrow it's going to go, day after tomorrow it's going to go. And so then they will change eventually. And so then I am there on that positive thought about their taking it. That's the difference. All right. So thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I can